When God showed up to me through the Harbor experience, actually happened before we went to Hope Harbor. The phone call that I had gotten from Miss Mel was very touching, and we talked a lot about the reasoning why I wanted Zonder to go there. And at the end of our conversation, she asked me, "Can I pray for you?" And I was speechless. I started crying, and I was like, "You want to pray for me? Like me?" Like, I was normally the one getting blamed for all of the problems that we were having in the household. And now somebody wants to pray for me. The prayer that she prayed for me was the most touching prayer I've ever felt. And that's when I knew that this is it. This is gonna help us.
Wow. Yeah, and with that, I want to just invite Miss Mel, the lady behind the phone calls, to just go ahead and open us in prayer.
Please join me. Father, I just want to thank you, Lord, for who you are. Thank you, Father, for the love and the compassion and the mercy and the grace, Lord, that is your character. Father, thank you that you have created us in your image. And so, Father, all of that mercy and grace and compassion and all those things, Father, that's all part of who we are too. I thank you for that. Father, I just want to ask you to be with each one of us tonight. We're all over the place tonight, Lord. All over the state, all over the Midwest, and even further. Father, be with each one in their home. Father, those who are enjoying meals tonight, bless their meals. Those who volunteered to help hand those meals out, Lord, bless their hands and the ones who prepared these meals. Father, be with us as we share tonight about Hope Harbor. In whatever way, Father, we know about this place, Father, let it just rest on our heart that it's you behind all of it. It's your ministry, and we thank you for it. Lord, this ministry is built on the scripture that says you are the anchor for our soul. Our hope is in you. So, Lord, be our anchor tonight in your name. Amen.
Yeah, and before we get going here, we're going to roll right into another video, a short teaser just to give you a preview of what's to come this evening.
I was kind of on a rough track my junior year of high school, and it was one of my teachers who actually knew of a family that was already going to Hope Harbor. It's tremendous, the complete 180 that the program had on my life. I didn't take it seriously at first. I didn't take it seriously for probably the first few weeks, maybe a month, and I was just looking more so to get in there, get out, and get on with my life. I almost missed out on the beautiful life that I have right now.
Well, we just want to welcome everybody, and man, do we have a lot to celebrate.
Oh my gosh, that was louder than I anticipated.
It's our first time holding got lots of confetti here. First time holding a virtual event here live at VVI in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I just want to introduce myself. I am Nash Eichholt. I'm the site director at our Parker location. And I'm joined by the lovely Miss Mel, and I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself.
Awesome. Thank you for that wild introduction. There's confetti in my coffee cup. I am Melissa Bruns. I'm the site director in our Marshall location of Hope Harbor. Been there for a long time, and I'm really excited to be here tonight. This next hour we're going to have a lot of excitement, obviously, as you can see by our confetti cannons. So wherever you're joining us from, we just really do want to say welcome. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. We know this is really different for those of you who maybe have been at a Celebration of Hope before. This is our first virtual event, but for those of you who've never been a part of Celebration of Hope, you're just coming the very first time. This is new for all of us, so we're all in the same territory tonight. Including for Nash and myself, this is new.
Yeah, that's right. This is a first-time experience for all of us, and we just really want to remember that those of you that have attended the events in the past, we're going to try to keep things very similar as far as our goal for the night. We want to give honor and glory to God.
Amen.
And all that He's done in our ministry. We want to give honor and glory to Him for the blessings, for the families we get to serve. We want to give him glory for just where we're at today and really just celebrate all the accomplishments that have happened within the ministry, with our staff, with our residents. We just are going to hear some testimonies from some past residents, some staff, some families. And we're super excited to share that with you guys. So
Yeah, absolutely. This time is about celebrating hope, and it's also about connecting with all of you guys, people who love this ministry, who are learning about this ministry, who just love what this work is. So we're glad that you're watching. While you're watching today, we really want to be engaging with you. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're at, we'd love for you to leave some comments in the comments. Drop a little note
on
in the
Facebook,
comments.
right?
On Facebook and on YouTube. You
Nice.
can on both.
Either or.
Or both would be great.
And smash the like button and the share.
And the subscribe.
And
All
the
of those
everything,
things.
all the above.
All of those things. If you have a personal testimony of how Hope Harbor has impacted you or your life, or why you support this ministry, or even just how you got here today, if this
Absolutely.
is the first time that you've come across us, how you got here, we'd love to hear it. Later on in the stream, we're going to go through some of those comments and share. So
Yeah.
please leave a message. for
Yeah,
us.
and the other reason we're here tonight is just a celebration of hope. It's a time typically for us when many individuals who support the ministry financially pour into our ministry with their treasures and really bless those individuals that work within, bless our ministry so that those families that are coming are able to come. And many of you watching have already made financial contributions through the mail. And so we're so blessed and so thankful for that. And we just want to take time and enjoy that. And I want to give a shout out to the volunteers in Marshall and Winona. They've been handing out meals there since we haven't been able to hold an event there this year due to COVID. And we actually had to cancel our event here. I had COVID and some other individuals had COVID as well. So it was kind of unfortunate. But and many of you gave donations too while they were dropping off the meals.
Thank you.
Just a big thank you for all of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the weather is pretty cold, at least in Marshall. I don't know about in Winona. So we do thank our volunteers for being out there during that time. So this is an opportunity for you to partner with us tonight financially if you would like to.
Yeah.
There's lots of ways that you can do that.
Like let's just say, Mel, let's just throw this out there. Let's just say that I wanted to give right now.
If you wanted to give right now,
Could I mail a letter?
you could, absolutely. You would want to include a check in that letter.
Sure. But let's say I wanted to do it instantaneous, and I'm like, maybe I'm pretty tech savvy,
If you're pretty tech savvy,
and I've got a device in the
whether
palm of
you
my
are
hand.
whether you are pretty tech savvy or not, we have a very, very easy way to give. You don't
that?
even need to be tech savvy to give.
Oh,
All you
really?
need to do is have that device
Have a
in your
phone.
hand. So pick it back up.
Okay,
pick
I'll
it
pick
back
it up.
Yep. All you need to do is pick up your phone,
Hope Harbor?
text Hope Harbor, all
Okay.
one word, to 243-725.
Hope.
I said that really fast.
What is it again?
243-725. I have to slow down when I say it because I've gotten so used to saying it. I'm kind of proud of the fact that I can say it so quickly, but I need to slow down. It should be on your screen as well. You can just text Hope Harbor, all one word, to 243-725.
Look at that. I already got it
You've
back.
already got it back.
Just like
click
that.
that little link.
So I'll click the link.
Click that little link.
Well,
What happens?
what does this take me to?
It takes you to our mobile auction site.
Mobile auction site?
Let me tell you about that. I don't even need to tell you about that. I know because you're outbidding me on things.
That is
Kind
of
I know you're on our mobile auction
true.
site. You can jump on our mobile auction site.
What's great about our mobile auction site is
How many times can we say that?
I don't know, but it's awesome. We have over 150 items listed on our mobile auction site, and what's so cool about that is we had a ton of generous contributions of in-kind gifts where people donated some of maybe they had a surplus of things, or they had craft, or they had things laying around, and we'll get to some of those later on in the event. But we have over 150 items that you can bid on, anywhere from dog packages
Lots of stuff for
up
your
to
pet.
a fishing trip.
Absolutely.
A one-day fishing trip with you and a buddy, or me. I mean, if you want to take me, I'll go too.
Please take him.
Hey now. But 100% of the proceeds come directly back to Hope Harbor. And that's so cool. So there's also fixed price items on there. And you can designate those gifts to specific sites.
What kind of things would that be?
Hold
a
on
fixed
here.
price item? I'd love to hear more.
Well, let's just say, Mel, that we go on our annual camping trip at the Parker location with the boys out to the Black Hills. And you wanted to sponsor that and donate $100.
What if I wanted to come along?
Well, that depends. We'd have to do a background check and stuff for you. You're kind of, I don't know. And then there's other options. So let's say you want to sponsor some, purchase some, a fixed price item would be purchasing like stamps. We have a stamp option on there where you can purchase stamps. So every letter that Miss Mel sends out to every one of you individuals watching, you could buy the stamps that get sent to you.
You know what's real tricky is if you purchase that stamp, I'm going to write you a thank you, and I'm probably going to use that stamp to send it to you. So,
but that's awesome. The other thing, there's a couple more. You could purchase curriculum for our classroom for a year.
Our residents would love that.
They would.
They would.
They actually find that school's really cool.
They do like our school. So there's a lot of ways that you can give on there. You can give, like we said, through some of the auction items, the fixed price items. You can bid on lots of items. We're going to show you some of those items here in a little while too. But if you're going through there and for some reason there isn't anything that you want on there, or in addition to those items, you just want to give a general donation. You just want to give a general donation.
Sure, that too. Absolutely.
Item number 1, I believe it is, on that auction is actually just a general donate button. You can donate any amount that you want. And then if the mobile auction site isn't your thing, you also can just go directly to our website, hopeharbormn.org, and there's a give button right on there. So enough of that
I think
business.
so too. Enough business.
How about a little bit of fun?
Sure.
So Nash and I, we are site directors.
Yep.
That's the title that we both hold in Parker and in Marshall equally.
Is that what it's called?
It is site directors.
So we're like assistants to the regional manager, sort of?
No, we're site directors. But I can see where that confusion is. We get to share that title with one other person, Brian McGregor.
No, BMAC.
BMAC, as we affectionally have
Oh,
begun
there,
to
look
call
at right
him.
on your screen.
There's a picture of BMAC,
well,
our favorite.
That actually is him.
That is.
But here's a...
Winona, we really appreciate him. He's actually was out handing out meals tonight. So if you were in Winona and picked up a meal, you got to see him. Hopefully he'll leave a comment or something for us on one of our pages and we can share a little hello from him. So
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, he's just been a great addition to our leadership team here at Hope Harbor. You know, speaking of leadership, Mel, let's say we roll into a video here and get really to the meat and the potatoes of our leadership.
I love that.
We're gonna show you a video here of from some of our founders, Claudia, Carla, and Alan. People that were critical to our mission here at Hope Harbor, and yeah, we'll just let them speak for themselves.
I can go back even a little bit further than when the doors first opened. When the Lord first placed it on my heart that He wanted me to use the resources I had and the things that I had learned to benefit other families who were going through difficult times as our family had experienced. I thought, well, that's good. I'll just give some money to some other organizations and they can take care of that. And then that didn't meet God's criteria. I did a little bit of Jonah. And then I thought, well, okay, I'll get Karen and Carla to come alongside of me, and Carla and Karen can do all the work, and I'll just kind of be the gal who makes cookies and plans menus and does the fun things. And that didn't work out too well either.
That wasn't the plan.
That wasn't the plan.
No,
I mean, Carla's husband, thank you, Mark, got a job in Iowa or Nebraska or someplace, and he left. And then Karen had some health issues, and she left, and I was stuck with Alan.
Right.
You know?
And then she needed a lot of prayer.
And then
That's where I came in.
That's where you came in.
Yeah.
But I think the initial thought was, who, me? You know, why me, and why are you calling us for such a time as this? Maybe a little bit like Esther felt, how can I do this? You know, but God in His faithfulness sent the right people alongside for that part of the journey.
Right. And I think when I think about those initial steps, the initial things that happened. I just had moved to Minnesota in 2001, and
We
soon
met in a
after,
Bible study.
we did, yeah. Well, we don't even remember when we first met. Remember that? We talk about that. We don't even know when we first met. And but for me, for months and months and months, I kept hearing Jesus' house. Jesus' house, build my house. And I'm like, I don't know. And then it turned from Jesus to Yeshua, and I didn't even know who Yeshua was. and so I was just like journaling all these things, and just pages and pages and pages. And then I started having dreams about houses. I'd have dreams about houses that I'd walk up to the front door and open up, and they were just like wrecked on the inside. Some of them were beautiful on the outside. Some just like falling apart, and I'm like, what is going on with this house? What is this house? And then somehow I think I either talked to you or Karen, and I said, I'm having like weird dreams and all this house business, and you said, oh, we need to talk.
We need to talk. You know, and isn't that a beautiful analogy, though, Carla? How you were having those dreams about something being beautiful on the outside, but just broken and devastated on the inside. And that's exactly the teens that we've served. I mean, people used to say, I remember the 15 years that I ran the ministry in Marshall, and people would meet the girls and they go, oh, they look so normal. Like, really? What did you expect? How did you expect them to look?
Right.
But you see, they look beautiful on the outside, but they were so broken,
Yes,
so
very
broken on
broken.
the inside. And that's exactly, I believe, what the Lord was showing Carla in those early dreams. And and then he revealed to us that need, that deep need to have a place for those brokenhearted.
We've seen a lot of broken hearts come through the ministry, and it's amazing just what God has done through all this, just seeing the inside get healed. And then some don't come looking so normal, on the outside. Right. They look very broken on the outside as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's through just the amazing ministry and God's help and the Holy Spirit that the inside gets healed, and it starts unfolding outward, and it's a beautiful thing. It's sort of like watching a tree blossom in the spring and grow roots deep, and so it's a great story. So.
He wasn't done with any of us when he called us to the ministry, and he worked on us all the way through it. I mean, the spiritual warfare that we had to learn because of the clients we were working with. We didn't know how to do it. We didn't know how to do it, but we learned, and God guided us through it, and he taught us, so we grew both spiritually and emotionally as well as the teens.
We're back. We're back just like that.
I think your confetti cannon may have poof.
My confetti cannon?
Caused us
This
some
confetti cannon?
Oh my gosh, again, it scared me.
I couldn't get it. But that confetti cannon?
I can't believe that scared me so much again. Hey guys, thanks for jumping back on. Sorry about that.
Oh, that one went in your cup.
Not
Sorry,
sure.
Mel. You
That's
got
okay.
some in your hair too.
I'm sure
Sorry.
I do. Not sure what happened there, but we appreciate you jumping back
Yeah.
on. If you missed that beginning part, if it was kind of lagging or jumping or anything like that, you can jump back onto it and rewatch it later. The videos all will be on YouTube individually too, so that video of Carla, Claudia, and Alan
Absolutely.
will be out there for you to see. But we're just going to keep going. We want to honor your guys' time. We are really thankful for Claudia,
Yeah.
Carla, Alan, and Karen.
It's a tongue twister. A little bit of a tongue twister.
It is. Our other founder, Karen, wasn't in that video, unfortunately. But I watched that video.
But
and
Karen's heavily involved in our prayer team in Parker.
She
and,
is.
And
That's
it's such a
awesome.
blessing. So
Yeah, and they all really are so involved in the ministry still.
Absolutely.
I think back to those early days. I feel like there's still confetti in my
no, it's
line of sight there.
in your
Sorry.
water.
Great.
worry
I think
about
back to the early days meeting with Karen and Claudia when they hired me. I always tell the girls in Marshall 100 years ago, but it was like 13 years ago. Feels like 100 years
That's how
ago.
long you've been with Hope Harbor? Almost since the founding.
Just about. About that
Yeah.
following year is when I came on. Alan's still there pretty much every day because I'm always calling him to come help me with stuff. And he's faithfully there
Yeah.
to help, so I appreciate it. Carla's been involved in so many ways and
she's
partnering
still,
with us.
absolutely
still.
involved
So,
and working down in Iowa.
yeah, it's just awesome to see that video and see
Yeah.
them share that
The
heart.
thing that I really love about that video is just seeing those pillars of the ministry. That ministry was founded with such a crystal clear vision and calling, and that's what I hope you guys really capture from that. Is you just see that vision, and that vision has stayed true from the conception of Hope Harbor to current. I was so blessed to sit down and just listen to those guys and gals chat and hear their heart of why God called them to Hope Harbor, and then now those people like you and I and Cindy and have picked up that torch and continue to carry it on and try to run with that. And so, it's all about partnership, right?
It is.
It takes everyone working together to make things happen. Let's just...
Well, one of the partnerships that we really love and appreciate, especially for this event, is our sponsors who come in and allow us to be able to do things like this. When we started planning this event back in July, we had a really different vision and idea of what this whole thing was going to be. I think everything has changed so much. So we had a lot of incredible sponsors who came alongside us. Some who have been a support of the ministry for a long time. Some who
are brand new.
Brand new, just jumping on.
Yeah.
And, we know none of them come on and support this for the benefits of that. But we do want to offer benefits
Absolutely.
to our
Yeah,
sponsors.
Sponsors.
And a lot of what we were able to offer them did change, but they've
Yeah.
stuck with us. And so do you want to maybe run through those sponsors?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of those things that were a benefit, they've been listed on our website and they get some shout outs on Facebook. And we're just going to take some time and acknowledge those our Fleet Admiral and Admiral sponsors. And our first Fleet Admiral sponsor just being First Premier Bank. Big thank you to them for stepping on board and partnering with us financially. It's such a blessing to have people like that in our community. And their leadership has been working alongside Hope Harbor, and it's just a blessing to have people like that. And we also want to acknowledge our Admiral sponsors. Our friends over at American Bank and Trust, at Ralco, North Risk Partners, the Midwest Division, Minwest Bank, WNB Financial. They're more than just a bank. They are. And then Gatomsky Family Foundation in Winona. Thank you to you guys as well. And then Frontier Climbing and Fitness. Fun tidbit. They're about to open here pretty soon. And
Sounds like a good place to take the boys.
We're going to definitely be in there and climbing. They're probably going to have to kick us out.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
So. So we're so thankful for these sponsors, these people who have just poured into this ministry. One of the additional things that we do promise our sponsors, all of our sponsors, and in addition to our Fleet Admiral and Admiral, we have captain level sponsors and first mate. And you'll find all of those listed on our website too. But one of the things that we do commit to with them is that we're going to be their prayer partners. And we do mean that all year long. We are praying for them faithfully.
Yeah.
And want to offer to be able to come out to their businesses and pray with them too. So that's something that we do commit to.
And this year alone, our sponsors have allowed us to work with 25 teens in our locations. Our program's 12 to 18 months long, and we've been blessed because of sponsors like the names you just saw. 25 teens and over 50 families, and without them, we can't do what we do.
Absolutely.
It's such a blessing, and another blessing that we have is people that have partnered in another way. Have donated some auction items.
Yeah, should we maybe look at some of those?
Sure, maybe, we can, I guess.
Well, we have a few of these auction items in studio. I know on the auction site, and again, if you're not on there yet, you can get on there super easy. Nash, how do we get on the auction site?
Well, you text something, I think, right?
Hope Harbor, all one word, to...
Yeah, to 247...
No, don't say it wrong.
Oh, Lordy.
243...
243.
725.
725.
Text Hope Harbor, all one word, 243-725. We'll get you right on that auction site. I know that all the items that are on there's some incredible photos and descriptions. I know that they're incredible because, I did all of them.
Well, most of them.
So, but we wanted to highlight a few things here in person. There's a lot of things on there that people are just in a bidding war over.
This jersey being one, you're bidding against me, but you're not going to win. So, not against the jersey, but some other things.
Yeah, against some other things. There's a few things on there still, not many, but a couple of things left that don't have bids yet.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to kind of like slide in there at the lower cost on stuff, look
How
at
long
those.
can I bid till, though, Mel?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking. You can bid until 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Sunday night, the 25th.
So if I bid at 9:59, outbid you, I win.
You won't, but you could. Absolutely. So, and what's also really awesome, I promise I'll let you show some things in a minute. What's also really awesome about that mobile auction site, though, is that it will send you text message reminders if somebody outbids you, so you can jump right back on and bid them.
And many of you have been doing that other than just Miss Mel.
That's true. So, and it will let you know when the auction's going to be closing pretty soon, so you can slip in there and grab the things that you want. There's a buy now option if you just can't wait. I have to share this quick, we had lefsa on there, 2 rounds of lefsa in Marshall, and those went like right away.
Crushed.
So
Boom!
Then I added a third one, and it was gone within like 20 minutes.
Gone,
so,
lefsa.
That's a big item because people grabbed it with buy now.
Let's get to these things now.
Okay.
So this jersey is just an 11 jersey. But wait, there's more. It's autographed by Carson Wentz himself. So that's pretty cool. It's an authentic.
Wait, who's Carson Wentz?
He plays for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh.
We also have for you
Local
Vikings
to the
fans.
Area, though?
What?
Local to the area, though?
No.
Oh.
He's from NDSU. That's not local.
Oh.
They're a rival of SDSU. That's where I went to school. But yeah, for all you Vikings fans out there, you're used to getting beat.
Nice.
And we've got a Jordy Nelson autographed football as well. So if you guys are into having something that's representative of a Super Bowl championship. Then we've also got this awesome autographed Tim Tebow football. Yeah.
Tim Tebow, and who's that?
He's the center fielder for the Yankees.
Oh.
So, yeah. We have a couple other things I'll show you quick. We have a beautiful watch.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. On there right now.
It's going to be my husband's Christmas gift.
You said you weren't bidding me up on this one. So, a Citizen watch. That was a beautiful gift. We also have a dessert of the month. And, I like me some cookies every now and again.
This is not the dessert
No,
of the month.
it's not. But it's really good.
It looks good.
It's so good.
It's similar to your confetti.
My
Tell me more about that dessert of the month.
Well, that dessert of the month, let me tell you more.
There's actually 2 dessert of the month options on there.
Yeah, one's for Marshall.
There's one for Marshall, and that's going to be the Hope Harbor girls themselves with staff will bake a dessert of the month for you. They are all listed on the website there, what they are, and then if you're within the Marshall area, we'll deliver those for you.
And then there's one for Sioux Falls.
There is.
And so if you're have a sweet tooth like myself and want to jump on that thing and get a fresh new, I don't know, maybe you get a lemon cream pie or something. If you're into lemon cream pie, I don't know what it is. But
I have been outbid on an item.
That's not my fault. I can't bid against you. I'm doing a live stream event, so it's not me.
I got outbid on an item.
We also have an awesome shopping night package here in Sioux Falls. or actually it's in Brandon.
Well, there's like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, the boutique one is in Brandon, and that's a 20% off event where you can show up and they'll provide any beverages that you'd like, and you and your friends can go, and I think there's a gift card included in that.
Yep, it's a private shopping event.
Private shopping event, 20% off of anything you purchase, off the price that they have, so great deal.
Yeah, there's a few of them on there. I've been uploading this stuff for the past couple of weeks, and I can't even keep track of all the things that are on there. Let's be fair and show them the thing that you and I are
So me and Miss
over.
Mel, she thinks we're in a bidding war. I'm just letting her think she's winning. We're in again this bidding war for this ring doorbell.
I have the highest. I don't know if I should say this, but I currently have the highest bid on that.
The Ring doorbell gift basket, which includes a. I can't read upside down.
This is my happy place.
It says home is my happy place.
Home is my happy place.
You can't read either, apparently.
Apparently not.
We both struggle. Home is my happy place mat, but here's where I think the hot ticket is in these Ring doorbells. It's a Ring doorbell and a chime, and Mel is trying to beat me on that.
Well, I've been eyeing that up to buy one of those for my home anyway, and I figured if I could purchase that and support my favorite ministry, win-win.
Oh, absolutely, I agree.
What else, though? That basket's pretty awesome.
That basket's cool. There's also a nice, comfy throw in there that you can snuggle up in on the couch. You and the Mrs. or Mr.
I really am trying to win that.
Yeah, well, you can try. Then we have this really cool cutting board that was made by the boys in Hope Harbor at Parker. It's a game day package. It's got a really cool cutting board or cheese board or bread board, handmade by one of our board members and our boys, Mr. Tim. You got a sweet, I don't know what this is here, a apron.
It is an apron.
To keep that cheese off your fancy attire. We've got some miniature cheese knives, so you can cut some things up like that. And we've got a recipe holder for all those cheese recipes if you're making homemade cheese at home, I guess.
Yeah, this is a very cheese-heavy package, apparently.
If you're in Wisconsin.
How about that picture on the ground? That's pretty awesome.
Now, and I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't have any bids on this, do we?
Let me double check. I can't believe that this item doesn't have bids yet. Because
2 items left, and then we're getting into the fun stuff.
This is one of the things. Oh, that has been bid on.
Ooh.
Nash and I have been waiting for that one.
This picture here and this wonderful comfy throw, this one I think is my favorite. It's from our friends at Evolve, and what
I'm jumping in on that.
A beautiful, yeah.
Sorry,
we'll see.
that's you.
And it's a beautiful painting and a nice throw. The other
I've been outbid again on something.
Well, I'm sitting right here. Thanks,
I'm gonna have to log out of this.
My wife's here and she's doing it for me. But yeah, so I think that's maybe enough of that for now.
Yep.
How about we jump to a video?
I think that's a great idea. Before we jump into that video, just want to give you guys a quick reminder. We would love for you to leave comments. A lot of people already have on YouTube and on Facebook, so thank you for that. We are going to talk about those here shortly after the video, so please leave us a message on there. Let us know how Hope Harbor has impacted you, and we'll give you a shout out here in just a little bit.
Smash the like and share.
All right.
It was my mother who learned about Hope Harbor. I mean, honestly, it was really a God thing because I was at basically a dead end. I had nowhere else to go on a very destructive track, and just somebody happened to mention it, and it changed my life. At Hope Harbor, it's really a big thing for me was that you can really tell in each of the staff that God really does handpick each of them, because I know myself and a bunch of the other girls I was there with, we each learned something different from each of the different staff. Hope Harbor has made a difference in my life, in the fact that it gave me the tools to get through life. I'll be honest, after I graduated from Hope Harbor, I kind of went on a backslide, and it was bringing in those tools that I had learned there and put them into effect. I'm by no means a perfect person today, but it's always coming back and bringing those tools that I learned from at Hope Harbor. I learned first and foremost to always go to God when it just seems like too much. He always has a plan. He'll always bring you through it. But I also learned that, not to put all of my issues into one basket. If one thing is going wrong, not everything is going wrong. Those are two of the biggest things. And boundaries. We went through boundaries in group. I still remember that 11 years later, almost 12. Boundaries are huge. Some of the struggles personally that I dealt with, even going through the program, I guess. One of my biggest issues was that I would always try to help all of my friends or whoever from drowning and throwing myself basically into the fire at all costs. And I would start to do that when I was at the program, and by the guidance of the staff there, they would say, hey, you're doing this, you need to back off a little bit. And even too, that's been a huge thing in my life since. I'm very empathetic and I want to help everybody that I can. But then, I'm reminded, just bring myself back. I can only do so much. That's a big struggle after graduation too, is you're surrounded by all that love and all, constantly, day and night. And then leaving, it's not that you're not around love when you leave, but it's different. It's having to apply what you've taken from Hope Harbor into your life outside of Hope Harbor. I was the baby of the family, and my parents are divorced, so it was really just my mother and I. And so I always loved my mom, but as an angsty teenager, I didn't know how to show it, and I always wanted to push the boundaries. And so the fact that Hope Harbor works with the family as a whole, or worked with just my mother and myself, it brought us so much closer, so much closer. Being able to kind of understand, Miss Kim worked with my mother by herself and worked obviously with me by myself, and brought us together, and we worked together. And it's tools that we still use today, honestly, and we're closer than ever. I come to a point where I have to just slow down and listen more to my children when they're getting frustrated, especially in my almost 9-year-old daughter too, where she is a perfectionist, and if she doesn't get one thing right, everything goes. And it's because I can see that, I can level with her and make her realize that it's all okay. We're just gonna work on this one thing. Not everything is bad. It's gonna be all right. The way that I looked at things, 16-year-old me before Hope Harbor, it was very doom and gloom. I didn't think that there would be any positivity. And now today, it makes me want to cry, because I almost missed out on the beautiful life that I have right now. Hope Harbor has had impact on me as a mother by the patience with my children and coming back and relying on God. Being a parent is ever-changing, how you handle your kids and what they're throwing at you. But to be able to go back and just kind of ask God, okay, I need your help here. Direct me, what do I need to do with them? And he really does show you. If you're quiet and you listen, he shows you. I am so thankful for every single staff and teacher at Hope Harbor. They all made a huge difference in my life.
Mel, and what's so cool about that is just hearing Kayla's story. And when I did those interviews, the stories that echoed across from the founding to current, the same thing, being able to pray for those families on the phone and walking alongside those families and these teens coming and looking for hope is just like, it's so hard to describe, but it's just such one of my favorite parts, I guess. Can you share a little bit more about that, maybe?
Yeah, I'd love to. That really is my very favorite part of the ministry. Some people have maybe heard me say that before. I absolutely love being able to pray with those families during that placement call. I get to do a lot of those calls over the years. I have, when we were just one home, I did a lot of those calls as we've opened up into other sites. There's a few other positions that get to. It's primarily site directors and primarily program coordinators. Site directors get to jump on those calls sometimes too, and occasionally our biblical counselors. But usually it's our program coordinators, which was my job for so long. So I love being able to pray with those families. It's just incredible to me that people, they have the courage to call and say, like, can I talk to you about my daughter, or talk to you about my son? I need some help. And they pour their heart out and share with us on the phone what's going on in their life, and share the things that I imagine there's not many people they can talk to about it.
Absolutely.
And they pour all that out, and then I get to share about Hope Harbor and who we are and what we do, which is my passion and what I love to do. And then every single call, we end with the phrase, we end with a question, can I pray for you quick? If you've ever called Hope Harbor asking for help for your teen, I hope that's the question that your call was ended with, and your call ends with prayer. And I'm confident that it was, especially if you talk to me. But I know my coworkers cherish that too. So to get to pray with them, and we pray with every family. I've never had a family, whether Hope Harbor becomes part of their journey or not, because it's not for everybody.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
But in some ways, that is the ministry that we have with them. We get to talk to these people and pray with them.
So cool.
I've never had a family tell me no.
Yeah. And I've gotten to do that too, and I would absolutely agree with everything you're saying. And it's a really powerful time. Like you said, a lot of those families, it's just that's the only action that we're ever going to have. Just that call, just that prayer. Yeah. And that's our job. Our goal is to reflect Jesus and be that salt and light in that moment. We may be the only Bible-believing Christians they ever encounter. And that phone call may be a chance to just minister to someone's hurting heart. And that's what Jesus calls us to do.
You're right. I know.
And a piece of that is, what's so cool is Hope Harbor's often described as an inch wide and a mile deep. And when you get to walk alongside those hurting families and just be alongside them in their journey, it's one of the biggest blessings that I've ever experienced.
I want full disclosure here, seeing Nash's tears, but moments before we started here, I made the mistake of realizing that, I can't even say it. That I think this is the first celebration of hope that I haven't been with Claudia. And so I had tears right before, and then was angry because I had tears because we needed to come on here. So I'm going to bail him out and say we both have been crying here. And I've had some messages from both Claudia and Cindy and so many others in the ministry, and I'm not even looking at them. I'm just checking my bids, because if I look at them, I'll be bawling. So I do love that this ministry is an inch wide and a mile deep. I love that phrase. And when people call and we offer to pray with them, or we do pray with them, then they go on to our prayer chain. And really everything that goes on at Hope Harbor, our staff can attest. If there's something going on, we want them to grab their phone and text us so that we can start praying. We send that out to, we have a prayer group, confidential, of course. We keep everything confidential. But we have a prayer group of over 100 people. And we send that out, and within minutes, I know for a fact those people are on their knees lifting those prayers, and it makes a difference. So in this year alone, we're in October, so in the past 10 months alone of 2020, we've prayed across our 3 sites with over 200 parents on the phone who've called looking for help, and we know that number is just going to continue to increase through the end of the year and just jump right. And those are the numbers are the same trends for most years, a little higher this year with the stuff we have going on.
Absolutely.
But we've gotten to pray with over 200 families on the phone, and put them into our prayer network, people who are just hopeless and heartbroken. And as Nash said before, we've worked with over 25 kids in our homes in just this year, just in this year, across the 3 sites. It's been really cool to just watch that grow. Over 50 parents, and pouring into them and helping empower them, teaching them skills that they're going to use with their kiddos that are in our program, but also bring into their home life with their siblings. And as you heard from Kayla's video, and we're gonna have more videos coming out in the coming weeks, those things that the kids are learning, they grow up. During that video break, I said, there's no way Kayla's got a 9-year-old, because that makes me a lot older. That doesn't make sense to me, because I just remember her. I hear her voice, and I remember a 15-year-old girl. So that's not right to me, but she shares that with her kids now, and it's just awesome to see that cycle continue on and being rooted in Christ.
Absolutely. Let's
Whew. That's getting too real. Let's go to Facebook, right?
This is the fun part. We're going to keep it a little interactive here. We're going to answer some questions from Facebook, from YouTube. Do you want to pull up YouTube, Mel?
I will.
And see, I've got.
I do have one question from Facebook that I want to make sure I bring up, though. Right towards the beginning, somebody asked if anybody can kick as high as Nash, and I'm just wondering if you could show us that kick again. I vaguely remember it happening. I'm wondering if it glitched out for some people.
Just got to do some exercises here. Got to stretch before I dunk on you.
Yeah.
Just got to give it a kick.
There you go.
Just like that, you know?
That's great. That's great. In case the feed was glitching before.
Yeah.
Now you've got it.
That
I'm
wasn't
impressed.
fake. That was real. That was at least a 6-foot kick. I could kick an apple off your head, I bet.
I'm only 5'3", so.
Well, they don't need to know that. These chairs add 7 inches.
I got heels on today. All right, let's jump on YouTube here real quick.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love, I saw this right away earlier. Miss Laura with our girls, or our boys. I'm sorry. I work with girls, and I'm just so stuck on that. Miss Laura is working with our boys in Parker tonight, and the boys all wanted to share something. So one of our residents says, Parker says, Hope Harbor's changed his relationship with his mom because he used to be very disrespectful, and he's slowly learning how to be respectful, caring, and kind, and just have good relationships. I can attest to that because I stayed in Parker last night. There's some guest rooms there, and I came out while the boys were working on something, and this boy in particular was just so sweet and so kind, and so engaging. A resident there says, Hope Harbor's impacted me by helping me to not want to self-harm anymore, and I can enjoy my life. I got to hang out with him a little bit last night, too. And before I came over here today, so we could get started and all this stuff, I was rushing and running late, and of course, that's how things go. And I thought, I need someone to pray for me. So I went out in the kitchen and just told the boys, hey, can you stop what you're doing? Would you mind just praying for me real quick? And I think I said, would one of you pray for me? And I, boom, had 5 boys. I can do it. I'll pray for you. And so I just want to say,
That's
hey,
cool.
guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That really touched my heart to have all you boys just jump right on that and pray for me today. So you're raising some godly men over there, raising them up. We've got Ken out in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Wow.
Saying hi and sending prayers. Appreciate that.
We've got CG asking, of course, they're saying, of course I have confetti cannons, and
Yeah.
I don't know why everybody doesn't travel with confetti cannons. It's just kind of a common thing, I thought.
Uh-huh.
Don't you?
I don't, but I mean,
I have confetti cannons right here.
I know
A whole
that
bunch of
you
them.
do. Oh, it's so loud.
It's so awesome. So that's 3 if you weren't counting. And Kurt says I have a face for radio. I don't know how to take that.
Well, let's see what else is on here.
We never answered that, but you have confetti in your hair.
Oh, of course I
Again.
do. Jeff Radman says, Jeff serves on our board, our governing board. He served on our board in Marshall for a long time, and he's been on our governing board, been a huge supporter, and personally a blessing to me. I remember so many times over the years him calling the Marshall House and me being able, or answering and being able to chat with him, and he just always genuinely cared what was going on with us. But says
comment.
it's been a journey to Parker, built on a solid foundation of houses in Marshall and Winona, and God is good. I want to make sure we highlight that. This is all for His glory.
Yeah, absolutely. Lene commented, Han, I remember hearing about Hope Harbor for the first time at church and couldn't believe there was a place that I personally could have been a part of as a teenager. Now as an adult and part of...
I'm not sure where you're at on here, so I can't even pick up for you. But
Yeah,
Lene, thank you
as
for...
a teenager, now and as an adult, and part of the advisory board in Winona, I am so encouraged every day by this ministry. I'm incredibly grateful that this exists and I get to be a part of it.
Yeah, amen, amen. So many of our staff and supporters and people commenting on here. Tracy has been with us in Marshall for a long time and has helped out in Parker as well. Thank you to everyone who's supported this ministry. I've worked at Hope Harbor for many years. I've personally seen the lives changed. So
Yeah. We had Justine Marie asked how you get involved with Hope Harbor as a volunteer.
Great question. Thank you.
And so there's numerous ways to get involved. That's an awesome question. If depending on what location you're at, the easiest way would be to go to our website and connect with the location that you're looking to get in touch with. And our website is www.hopeharbormn.org. It should be on the bottom of the screen right now. I think, I don't know, maybe. And anyway, if you go there, you can click Contact Us Now, and there's also a volunteer application on there. And if you shoot me a private message on Facebook here, Justine, or even the Hope Harbor Marshall or Parker page or Winona page, wherever you're at, we can get those details to you.
Absolutely, yep. We try to have a lot of information on our website, so it's a great resource for families. Like I said before, I answer a lot of those placement calls, and I field a lot of those emails. And I will say, I know a lot of that kind of the messages from families looking for help does come in late at night, middle of the night. I haven't been there myself, but I anticipate must be up at night trying to figure out, what to do. And so we try to have a lot of resources on that page for people. So. Lots of comments on there. Really thank you guys for engaging with us. I can't wait to read through them all later.
Yeah, and Justine asked if you have to be in Marshall specifically. You don't have to be in Marshall. If you're willing to travel or to any of the sites, whatever you're closest to, we'd love to have you. There's just some things we need to take care of before that happens. So, should we roll into a video of just to see how Hope Harbor has impacted some people? You may see some familiar faces in this video. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah? Let's see another video.
Let's rock and roll. Ooh.
I was kind of on a rough track my junior year of high school, and it was one of my teachers who actually knew of a family that was already going to Hope Harbor. Some of the struggles personally that I dealt with even going through the program, I guess. One of my biggest issues was that I would always try to help all of my friends or whoever from drowning and throwing myself basically into the fire at all costs.
The phone call that I had gotten from Miss Mel was very touching, and we talked a lot about the reasoning why I wanted Zonder to go there. And at the end of our conversation, she asked me, "Can I pray for you?" And I was speechless. I started crying, and I was like, "You want to pray for me? Like, me?" Like, I was normally the one getting blamed for all of the problems that we were having in the household. And the prayer that she prayed for me was the most touching prayer I've ever felt. And that's when I knew that this is it. This is gonna help us.
It was my junior year of high school. I think it was the summer, but I had attempted suicide, and so my parents, they were just so heartbroken, obviously, and just torn on like, what do we do? Like, how we can't help her. So
I ended up going to Avera Behavioral in Sioux Falls, and while I was there, there was a girl there who was leaving to go to Hope Harbor. And so I was actually begging the doctor, can I go to that place? Because that sounds great. Like, maybe getting out of my family situation would be ideal. Like a place you can live and go to school and not have to deal with the drama of life at the time just sounded ideal to me. So I ended up going into foster care for a week. And my dad worked really hard to figure out how to get me to be able to go.
One thing I really used to struggle with is my anger and feeling worthless, like a mistake, like I wasn't supposed to be here. And Hope Harbor really taught me that I'm a child of God and I am not a mistake. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And the anger that I have is just unforgiveness in my heart that I need to just let go and move on.
I didn't take it seriously at first. I didn't take it seriously for probably the first few weeks, maybe month, and I was just looking more so to get in there, get out, and get on with my life. And it was kind of a means to get back into school, and it was really a God thing that He really worked in me when I was there. it didn't take long really to take it more seriously and to really be a change. I honestly don't think I would be here today if it weren't for Hope Harbor.
I used to yell at my siblings all the time because I was really angry. I wasn't very nice to my siblings. But after Hope Harbor, I treated them well and was a big sister to them like others should be.
So looking back at my time there, it was scary at first, but it was also the most refreshing and rewarding and life-changing experience I've ever had in my entire life. And just the love that I had felt there and through the staff and even the other girls was just something I had never felt before.
It was 6 years later where my dad went through a super rocky time and ended up getting divorced and had a bunch of stuff happen. And that was the first time in probably 10 years that I had an actual conversation with my dad. And since then, our relationship has been back to what it should have been. The dad and the grandpa that I've always wanted to have. And I don't know if that would have happened, if we would have ever gotten to that point, if he didn't invest what he invested in Hope Harbor during that time he was there as well.
Hope Harbor has had a huge impact on my growth towards Christ and towards myself and towards my family. And now I know I can be the best mom, the best sister, the best soon-to-be wife.
It made a difference for me.
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 Wow, that's felt the only thing I can say to watching that.
Yeah.
Seeing all the girls, they're girls to me. The young ladies, the women that you see in that video, are all past residents of Hope Harbor. And again, in the weeks and months to come, we'll have their full interviews coming out with a lot of information they shared. But it's just crazy to see all of them now and their wives and moms and
when you look at that, Mel, how can you best describe who could attend Hope Harbor?
That's a great question. So, we work with kids ages 12 to 17 that are dealing with all kinds of stuff in their life. In our Marshall and Winona homes, we work with girls. In our Parker site, we work with boys. And kids come in and they're just like you and me when we were young, and they're just dealing with the stuff that's going on in life and struggling with anxiety or uncertainty about things, just trying to figure out who they are and how to
absolutely.
Get along with their families. And I have a lot of people ask, where does some of this start? And it's never the kids or the parents. It's all of us together as families just need to learn how to communicate. And so, our website has a lot of information on that. If you have specific questions about how somebody is able to become part of Hope Harbor, become a resident with us, please reach out on our website or send us a message. We'd love to talk more about that. We know, we had planned to meet or to have this live stream tonight from 6 to 7, and we're going a little bit over that because of our technical difficulties. So we want to honor your guys' time tonight and wrap up here shortly. But please do reach out on our website if you have more questions about residents at Hope Harbor.
And one thing that I love, I'm so passionate about Hope Harbor. We're a privately funded ministry. We don't receive any state funding, no federal aid. We're funded through people like you and I. Many of you watching are ministry partners or just learning about Hope Harbor for the first time and curious, how can you partner?
Right.
We have people that partner monthly from $10 up to $1,000 a month. We have several different giving options too. And the financial transparency within our ministry, we're not top heavy, we don't have a ton of overhead like a lot of other facilities or programs, but what we do at our core is make Jesus real to these kids. They come in hurting, their identity issues, and it's not anything that we're doing other than creating a space where the Holy Spirit can move and work on these families. You know, and what does tuition cost, Mel? If I'm looking for a placement for my son or daughter, you know, what should I expect for tuition?
Right. So our tuition at Hope Harbor is $3,500 a month per family. Hope Harbor, we don't take any government funds. Our teens aren't placed, you know, by the county or anything like that. So we don't take, you know, our kids aren't covered. Their stay isn't covered by the system or anything like that. We don't bill insurance either. We're a ministry and we want to share the gospel. We do share the gospel with every family. So we don't have the strings attached of insurance and government funding and those kinds of things, because sharing the gospel is what's core to this ministry and is what changes lives. And we're never going to change that. We're never going to stop doing that. So,
and brokenness doesn't choose based on socioeconomical status.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We know families call and we talk through all the things that are going on in their life and talk through what the program's about. And then the next question is, what does it cost? And I share. It's $3,500 a month, and inevitably, almost every family kind of breathes out, oh, we can't afford that. And I tell them I understand that. Nobody sets aside a fund for something like this, for things that are going on like this.
Not.
And so we tell families, we don't want you to cash in your 401k or take out a second mortgage or do anything like that. What we want you to do is we want you to pray about what you can contribute towards tuition.
Absolutely.
And then commit to that, and the Lord's going to provide. He always does. I've been at Hope Harbor for 13 years, and He provides.
And we ask that when you commit to that you commit to doing that for the 12 to 18 months of the program.
Absolutely.
Because we know there's other commitments. You're having to maybe take off work a little bit early to come down for visits on Friday and see your son or daughter. You know, we had one of our families set sail, which is a term that we use as residents complete our program. And he calculated that he drove around the earth 2.5 or 3.5 times, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, it's not an easy thing.
It's not. It's a huge commitment, but we don't turn any family away for inability to meet full program fees at Hope Harbor.
No.
And every family that calls, I tell them that, and we mean that. And we mean it when we say, if money is the one thing holding you back from, if everything else about this ministry seems right for your family, if you can make the commitment and this is the type of help you want for your teen, and you can come each week and be a part of this, because Hope Harbor is different than other programs.
Absolutely.
I talk to lots of other programs as kids
Why
come in.
is it different? What makes us so different, Mel?
That's a great question. As kids come in from other places or families are searching for other help, I've talked to a lot of other programs, and they are just floored by the fact that we require families to come every single week for parenting class and counseling as well. And to see their teens. And it's essential. It's essential that families are together each week. This is a family program. And so it's not a drop your kid off and get them fixed and come pick them up in a year. Our families will attest to that, and our teens will attest to that.
And the thing that really sets us apart is we're a Christ-centered, biblically based ministry. We function, and we're unashamedly afraid of who Jesus Christ was and what He did on the cross for us, and we make that known. We have prayer every week, devotions in the morning and the evening. And the way we're able to keep tuition so low is because of events like tonight.
Right.
Financial partnership for many of the individuals out watching currently. You know, and we have some people that have been giving for 10 years at $10 a month. We have a couple out of Marshall, I believe. And you know, we have some that just say, hey, you know, this is something I want to get behind, and here's a lump sum. Here's a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 gift. The thing that really creates financial stability within a ministry is that monthly giving. That creates financial sustainability. There's not hilltops and valleys with that, and so that's what's really huge. We have a couple monthly giving programs. Mel, you want to touch on Learn 240 maybe a little bit?
Sure,
and
I'd
our
love to.
sponsor, a teen.
Yeah, I'd love to. So our Learn 240 monthly giving program. Our teens are in school approximately 240 days a year. We go to school year-round at Hope Harbor. Some of our kids come in behind, need to catch up, or are just struggling with some different things, or they just get to work ahead, which is really great too. So they're in school about 240 days a year. If you're a Learn 240 partner, you partner with us for $20 a month, which is $1 a day each day the kids are in school all year. And there's some newsletters and things like that, some ways you can connect with our kids that come as a benefit of being part of that program. Our Sponsor a Teen program is $100 a month. And so if you commit to giving that in through that program, we'll connect you with one of our residents on one of our sites. You can write them encouraging letters, get letters back from them, celebrate with them when they set sail, finish their program.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's all in addition to our Anchor Club monthly giving that Nash talked about.
And we're just going to really bring this event to a close here in the next probably 2 minutes. And I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about our event, when it was supposed to happen. We had our annual fundraiser, our Celebration of Hope in Sioux Falls, that was supposed to happen on October 10th, and we were unable to host it. I had contracted COVID, and I'm obviously fine now, and was fine then, and just wanted to be cautious of all of our ministry partners out there. We know that it's serious for some people and not for others, and so I was a little bummed out about that. But we had a goal that night of raising $60,000. And I believe that we can do that yet when this video gets out and people see it and catch it. And I'm really reminded of the story of Nehemiah in Scripture. And Nehemiah was the cupbearer for the king. And, in that time, the cupbearer's job was to taste the wine and see if it was poison for the king. And it was a prestigious job. It was highly thought of and highly sought after. And you weren't allowed to show any grief or any emotion when you did this. And Nehemiah walks in the room, and the king can see Nehemiah is visibly sad. And Nehemiah had been praying about it, and he asked to go and rebuild his walls in his village, the walls of Jerusalem, right? And the king looked at him and said, yeah. And Nehemiah asked for time off, and the Lord provided that, and the Lord provided timbers, and the Lord provided everything that Nehemiah needed. And at this time, this was unheard of. And so I really think that that's what God is going to do this year, not only for our ministry, but other ministries out there, that God is opening up, because we're in a time right now that's unlike any other.
Absolutely.
And we all need to be making Jesus real. And my ask tonight is that you consider stepping on board with us at any level that you're comfortable. Maybe you've already sent that check in, but I would ask you just to pray about it and consider and see what the Lord wants you to do. And maybe that's jumping on board on our monthly donor or our monthly partnership club, or maybe that's stepping up and saying, hey, I'm going to do this, and in addition to that, I'm going to give $1,000 every year at the end of the year, or at the Celebration of Hope. Whatever that may be, I want you to pray about that and just really take it to the Lord between you and Him, and just see what He reveals to you. So, that's all I got, and I think that's all that we have.
Yep. We just really do want to say thanks for sticking with us tonight through our technical difficulties, through the different things that are going on. I don't know how this works though.
Wait, keep talking.
He's handed me one of these things. I don't even know how they work.
Look at all
these. I want to thank you guys for sticking with us, and we really appreciate that. We're gonna blast these cannons here in a second. They twist. Oh boy. You want to stay on and see me try to make this happen.
Don't look at it.
Then I'm not going to. And then afterwards,
we are going to with that Daisy Red Ryder BB gun.
We are going to play another video. Is going to play after this. It is lengthy, about 15-20 minutes.
And it's just a thank you video.
It is just a thank you video. If you want to stick around and watch it, we'd love for you to watch it. If you want to come back later and see it.
When's auction close again?
Great question. Auction closes tomorrow at 10 p.m. So again, you can jump on there, text Hope Harbor, all one word, 243725.
Cool.
So I just twist this?
Yeah, just twist it. Point up and twist.
Oh boy. All right. Are you serious? It's up?
Yeah.
It's not strong enough.
Like that.
I can't do it.
Oh, I'll do it. Oh, that one hit the ceiling.
I can do jazz hands.
So just stay online. The event's over, guys. Thanks so much. Check out the thank you video.
Well, first and foremost, I guess I want to thank my mom, because she went the extra mile and she sought out this program and put me into it. And There were lots of miles. This was in Marshall, Minnesota. We lived in Watertown, South Dakota. I can't tell you exactly how many miles and how long the trip was. She could probably still tell you exactly how many miles and to the minute how long that trip was. But to make that all the time, and for my weekend visits to come and get me, to bring me home for just a couple days, and to drive me back, and then to drive back home. I know it hurt her being so young, and for me to be away from home, especially after everything that had happened before that. All of the staff had something different to contribute, and it's just so neat to look back on and to see all the different personalities and all the little pieces that were put together to complete that experience at Hope Harbor. Honestly, yes, Melissa was a huge part of it too. She was a huge part of it. But also Claudia. She was very much a mainstay, very calm, took everything with great stride. And she was just that peaceful presence. And so was Karen, and so was Kim. And the teacher at the time was Jodelle, and she was also wonderful as well.
I just want to say thank you to Miss Claudia and Miss Karen and Miss Carla for taking all of the hard work and doing what needed to be done to get it started, and then plus all of the staff.
I'm thankful for every person that has any involvement in Hope Harbor in so many different ways. Volunteers who drop off cookies or cupcakes, and people who see a post on Facebook that we need fans and fills that within 20 minutes, and supporters who have given $10, $15 for the past 13, 14, 15 years every month. People who just found out about the ministry and are really touched by it and make a donation or share something on Facebook. People who hear about us and kind of tuck that information away, and then one day, years later, talk to somebody else whose daughter needs help or son needs help and says, I think there's this place. I'm so thankful for every person. Our staff, we have such incredible staff at Hope Harbor in all 3 locations. Incredible people who just give and pour themselves out to pour into these kids and their parents and their families. Our staff who are up our overnight staff who are up all night long, who are praying for the girls all night long, and our afternoon staff who deal with kids who are struggling with all kinds of really, really hard stuff, who are acting out and really angry and really hurting, who put themselves aside so that they can help this boy through this hard thing that's going on. And I'm so thankful for all of them. People who've interned for us and volunteered for us, who just pour into these kids. And I think, of course, I'm so thankful for Claudia so many years ago, for just being obedient to what the Lord was calling in her life to start this place, along with Karen and Carla and with Alan's prayer support. I'm so thankful for their obedience, and then also for her just listening to the Lord when I wasn't and don't, to be able to just so confidently know that the Lord was calling her to offer me a job and to keep at me with that and give me this opportunity to be part of this place. I always thought that she was the greatest boss to work for, and I could never work for a better boss. And then Cindy came on board, and I was like, oh boy, how do I pick between the two? And thankfully I don't have to, because they both are incredible, and they both are a huge part of my life still. So I'm so thankful for Cindy too, equally but in a different way over these years, that she's just taught me so much and and poured into me so much in such an awesome way. So, and then I would also say Alan, absolutely. I'm so thankful for him. What a support he's been to the whole ministry, but especially me there in Marshall. It's just been incredible. So we just have really awesome people that love this ministry.
There's so many people I could thank at Hope Harbor. One of the particular staff, I'm already gonna start crying, that I connected with was Miss Jess. She was my teacher at Hope Harbor, and I don't know, she was a mother, and so I just felt comfort with her. I felt like I could talk to her about anything, and she would take time out of like her day to just intentionally like reach out to me and say, hey Jordan, like you seem a little different today, like are you doing okay? And I was like, not really. And so she would just take time out of her day to just reach out to me and just care for me, comfort me, figure out what's going on the good days, and then also on the bad days, and then also the good. So like we would go out, just us two, and we would go and have like coffee together, or we went to look at a school together, a hair school, because I was interested in that. So it was super cool to just see how intentional all of them were, and just very graceful and awesome they were towards all of us girls.
Well, I would like to thank Mel for kind of just being my first boss at Hope Harbor, and Miss Cindy, of course, and just like having grace for me, but also holding me to a really high standard, because yeah, sometimes I'm really hard on myself, and then they're like, it's fine, don't worry, but then not letting me slide around, just like, oh, it's fine, it doesn't matter what I do, but just, you know, yeah, holding me to a high standard. And Nash, my boss now, because he's hilarious and just has a really good read on me when I need calling out, or when I need just, I don't know how to say it. When I need to be less hard on myself, or when I need to slow down, he just notices that and meets me where I'm at. And I'd like to thank all the parents too, because they let me help them parent their kid, and let me and trusted me to just literally drop off their kid and say, okay, I'll see you on Friday. And you know, they don't know me. They don't know what I'm gonna say to their kid, how I'm gonna respond to their kid, or what I'm gonna teach them. But just having that trust from the parents is amazing, and just really strange that they would even let me do that. And for the residents, I'd like to thank them all, because it's just really cool that they let me into their lives too, and let me, that they listen to me and let me be a part of things, both during the program and after sometimes. And I want to thank my coworkers. Seriously, because like sometimes on shift you feel like you're all by yourself, because it's just you and the residents, and you're like, oh man, like I'm supposed to be on this big team, and where's my team? But just like when we have struggles, we send out a text for prayer, hey, you know, I'm struggling right now, or there's a resident who needs some prayer, and then people respond, praying, and it blows up into this huge mass text message. But it's really cool just to see how even when you're alone on shift, you're part of a team. And even though we all work at different times, some people work overnight, or some people work during the day or in the evening, we're all working together.
Oh yes, there's so many people I would love to say thank you to. Thank you to Miss Tracy, Miss Mel, Miss Sarah, and Miss Laura for all their amazing work they have done in my life, being the older sisters I never had, and all that.
That first call you make, and you talk to Mel, and then it's the offer of prayer and the calming that comes with that, and the sense of the Lord is there with you, and Mel helps to bring that to the forefront. Obviously Claudia just being so part of the program, even though she's not there daily, stuff that her presence there really speaks to the strength of it. And then Cindy and all that she did. She was a real good conduit for me. I was able to talk to Cindy quite a bit, and it was nice to be able to have those multiple touch points within it. But the whole staff, honestly, because it's probably overused, a team effort, but it really is a lot of good people helping out, from Mr. Allen from the spiritual side, and just the other families that come around. So it really is.
I would like to thank Miss Mel for guiding me to the harbor. I would like to thank Miss Laura and Miss Rebecca for getting my daughter's grades to where they should be. I thank all the staff for doing what they've done for all the girls, especially Sandra. But most importantly, I thank God for guiding us here. I truly think that the way the timing was with everything, from the phone call to placement date to the end of the program, it was all in God's hands, perfect timing. And the reason I say that now, looking back, is Sandra was very, very close to my dad. When we struggled, Dad was the only one who could get her kind of back to where she needed to be. And he had been sick for the last 7 years. And we were always afraid something was gonna happen to him while she was at the harbor. And that would have broke her. And she got out March 13th, and he passed away July 28th. And they had their time, and he was able to go knowing that she was gonna be okay.
I want to say thank you to all of them, especially Melissa. She helped me through a lot also. I had consequences for things, and I told her thank you once afterwards for doing that. And so I am very thankful for what she did also.
All of them. I got a chance to meet some of them, all of them, in Winona as well, last fall. And yes, thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you do. And yeah, and I miss the staff. I miss it a lot. I miss seeing them. But thank you.
The people that I would like to thank are, there are so many of them. And first of all, I think of the teens and the work that they've put in. It's a lot of work for them to go through our program. It's a lot of tears, it's a lot of frustration, a lot of laughter, all kinds of different things, but it's hard work for them. I also want to thank all of the parents for entrusting their child to us for such a time as this, as we go through the journey and work as a team with them, walk alongside them throughout the journey of Hope Harbor. And it's also not easy for the parents. I often joke and say that I think it's a lot more work than the parents ever anticipated when they signed up for Hope Harbor, just the work that they have to put in. And I want to thank the parents on behalf of the teens, because that means so much to them, to know that their parents are all in and that they didn't just drop them off so we could fix them in the time that they're with us and then the parents come back and pick them up. That's not how we work. And so parents are involved every step of the way, and that means a lot to the kids. And so I thank the parents for doing that. I also want to thank all of our staff. There have been so many staff I've worked with over the years. All have been amazing. And whether they've been with Hope Harbor as staff for 1 month or 14 years, I just want to thank the staff. And my prayer is that their life is better because of their time that they were at Hope Harbor. I want to thank all of the people that support us. Truly, we would not exist if it weren't for people that would support us in so many different ways. Prayer being so important to us. All of the people that have been prayer warriors for Hope Harbor is amazing, and I know we would not exist if it weren't for that. We also wouldn't exist without people supporting us financially. Every year, about 20% of our budget is met by tuition that our families are able to pay. And the other 80% is made up from individuals, businesses, churches that support us financially. I want to thank our founders, Miss Claudia, Miss Karen, Miss Carla, for having the vision back in 2003 to listening to God's call in their lives to start a ministry to be able to help teens and their families in a way that no other program can. So I thank them. I thank Miss Claudia for her support and friendship throughout the years, for being my mentor, for leading the ministry in the way that she has, and for just continuing on to her and her husband Mark, for being the advocates, the cheerleaders, supporters of the ministry. It's just a really important thing to me. So I want to thank Mark and Claudia, again, me personally, as a friend and a mentor, and also to the ministry and all of the support throughout the years.
Sorry, you're my coffee.
You could help. So much stuff up there.
I'm scared.
All over. Everywhere, man. Oh my goodness.
I'm not washing my hair again. Did I stop?
Well, it's just everywhere.
Those cookies are good.
Oh, Lordy.
You should stop.